Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AIM Impact on Your Health. AIM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AIM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AIM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, a Friday version of the show, slightly modified. We'll go to a Beresha report here just about 1:15 and find out what's happening with Beresha. Big doings in the month of June here in Pittsburgh with Beresha. We hope to be able to announce some preliminary facts about it. And so Keith Golby is going to be our guest with us. Then at 1:30, I tell you what, folks, I've been keeping the wraps on this one. I've been keeping my fingers crossed. As you would well know, we had our first cataract clinic complete its 4-day program yesterday. And I want to give you the sneak peek results on what happened to these patients who came in with, in one case, pretty severe cataracts. And what happened? I told you I'd tell you. I'm going to tell you. We'll do an official show on this in the future. I'll give you more reason about why it has to be official and why it's going to be in the future. But at least the sneak peek results today at 1:30. If you have cataracts, if you were in my office a couple of weeks ago listening to the cataract clinic and said, you know what, it's too soon for me. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see what happens. Okay, you waiters and seers, I'll let you know how things went with the 4-day cataract program. The first one ever to be held here in Western Pennsylvania. All right, we are in a posture, a holiday weekend posture. I sure hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be out and about in the community. Turns out there's a, Health and Fitness Expo going to be held at the Monroeville Mall on tonight. It's 5 to 10 tonight, and then all day tomorrow. Now, I'll be out there. If you're in the Monroeville area, or if you're in the fitness realm at all, and you want to talk to me about hormone replacement therapy, we are called Regenesis, and we'll have a booth out there. I look forward to meeting those of you who want to discuss this further and like to be able to enhance your hormone posture, no matter what hormone that is, and try to bring you into the upper levels of normal. That's our goal. That's our objective, and we will hit it. It's called Regenesis, and we will be at the Health and Fitness Expo both today and tomorrow. Hope to see you out there. Now, on Monday, we will not be doing a live show. On Monday, we're going to do a repeat show. And we have so much going on with the eyes, I thought it was time, after I found this show the other day, to bring it back to you, because it is a earth-shattering revelation about what you sort of expected, but maybe really didn't expect. It's called, and Dr. Ed Condrat gave it this name, and after listening to the show that we did back on December 17th, 2014, it was appropriately named. Get a load of this name. It was called back then, and as we repeated for you on Monday, the Watergate of eye care. A whole bunch of revelations became available to the medical community back in December. We first brought it to you, and then we didn't do anything about it. And I just saw that information laying out there. I had to resurrect it on Monday. Especially if you have wet macular degeneration, and you know they have those injections into the eye. Oh, sounds rough to me. Injections into the eye to stop the bleeding in the back of the eye. By the way, that's why it's called wet instead of dry macular degeneration. But if you've got wet macular degeneration, you're probably being told by your doctor it's time for either your first or your next injection. And you just may want to put the brakes on that. I think you'll want to pay attention to Monday's show. We'll talk, of course, more about it as we move into the month of June, which we'll be doing after next week. But on Monday's a repeat show for those of you who have to listen to a show, even though we're not doing a live on Monday, a repeat show, The Watergate of Eye Care. Then on Wednesday, when we come back, Mike Legal is going to be with us. He is the head and CEO of a group called First Alternatives, and his company represents this unique device produced by a company called Avazia. Now, we went on record with Shannon a number of months ago talking about so many pieces of equipment out there that are available in the microcurrent realm that we had to put our reputation behind just a couple of them, and we did. We said there are two companies we want to represent. One is called Inspirstar, and that is a frequency-specific device, and another company called Avazia, and that is not a frequency-specific device, but has some very unique properties that the other ones don't have. So you really need the 1-2 wallop. On Wednesday, Mike Legal is going to be here. We're going to be talking about the Avazia unit and what this thing does and how you might learn more about it through the guy who has been in charge with the entire country, the whole USA, for the marketing of these devices. So Mike Legal is going to be our guest on Wednesday of next week. We do round out the week. It goes all the way up to May 30. Oh, no. Hey, we got next Sunday to round out the entire month. It's just an early Memorial Day. It's got me confused. When we turn the page and get into the month of June, don't forget we've got Susan Smith-Jones as our guest. She's going to be our guest on the 10th. It's a little out of sequence for her because, as you all know, Dr. Vavavoom usually comes to us on the first Wednesday of the month. It's going to be changed, so you make the change and get ready for her on the 10th. The gunslinger himself, Dr. David Minkoff, is going to be our guest on the 17th. I really admire this doctor. He has taken on, and he's made it very personal, extremely personal, the treatment of Lyme's disease. It runs rampant in a lot of places, but down in his office in Clearwater, Florida, he doesn't put up with any baloney. You'll see what I mean when you meet the gunslinger himself, Dr. David Minkoff, talking about his Lyme's disease treatment. Now, a lot of you are very interested in the up-and-coming eye programs. After my release of the sneak peek results today, there are going to be more of you interested in our eye programs. We just completed one yesterday, and of course I told you I'm going to give you some sneak peek results. But the next one that we're going to hold is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And of course, if it's cataracts, it's a 4-day program, and the 25th. So if you think you want to be a part of the eye program, I got a feeling this thing is going to be filling up, and we won't be able to take any more. I only do 5 at a time, and, well, we'll let you decide. Anyway, the next eye program, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of the month of June. If you think you'd like to be involved with the program, give us a call here, and the number to directly call in to talk to Sister Sarah about this is 724-993-0500. Once again, a direct number to Pittsburgh Eye Protocol is 724-993-0500 for those of you who have an interest in being involved with the next eye treatment program. I see here way into the future, and I guess not that far into the future, I'm giving a talk out here at the Strabane Trails Village. I don't know much about it. I'd hope to be able to tell you more about it. If you're in the Washington County area, I'm going to be giving a talk about eye issues, eye seminars, and the treatment programs for eyes. So if you wanted to be involved with a free opportunity to hear this story told by me once again, give us a call here to talk to Sister Sarah. I'll give you that number once again for Pittsburgh Eye Protocol, and she'll give you the details. It looks as though it's 2:30 in the afternoon on the 30th of June at Strabane Trails Village. I'll give you more advice as to where that is as time moves on, but I just want to get on record to mention that we will be there, and it looks like we can let it go at that. The vitamin C kits. Hey, folks out there, if you do vitamin C. And although it's not my go-to antioxidant anymore, as you should know by now, my go-to antioxidant is something called astaxanthin, which is the carotenoid found in an algae. The algae is known as Haematococcus pluvialis. It is a very strange algae in this regard. Because of this carotenoid, there is a very deep red color that's cast when this algae is present. Evidently, you haven't seen this algae before because while walking through the woods and stumbling on a body of water, I have never seen let's say, a blood red creek or lake or pond. And that's exactly what you would see if Haematococcus pluvialis was growing in that body of water. But they do raise the stuff and they extract the carotenoid out of it. Turns out since I think it's April of 2013 now, we have been made aware of astaxanthin. Embarrassingly, I had to reveal I had not heard of it beforehand and certainly speak of its praises today. The reason why, there is an equivalency. A 12 milligram capsule of astaxanthin turns out to have the antioxidant equivalent of 72,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Enough said on the matter. Now, vitamin C, however, has two properties that the astaxanthin does not. If you want an antiviral agent, you have to use vitamin C because you cannot take on viruses with an antioxidant alone. And the second reason why we use vitamin C, because it has no substitute, when it comes to malignancies and cancerous tissue, vitamin C is the only way I know of to completely eradicate the lesion without, and I say without, harming any of the normal tissue. Anyway, many of you do vitamin C, but you've already learned, and quite well, that there's two things that you better have met before you embark upon such a thing. Number one, you want to make certain that the vitamin C that you're going to be using is non-corn derived. Turns out that 99% plus of all vitamin C comes from corn, and I didn't know that either, and I pass it on to you. But as you also should know, almost all the corn is genetically modified. So it won't work. It's a dud at best, and at worst, it's probably harmful to you, although we have no documented evidence of such. Nonetheless, it makes good intuitive sense. So you want to stay clear of the corn-derived forms of vitamin C. And the second thing is, because vitamin C is naturally a water-soluble substance, you can't absorb that stuff. 3% on a good day with the planets in alignment, meaning if you can get down 1,000 milligram capsule of the stuff, on a good day, you can actually absorb 30 milligrams of it. Doesn't seem quite fair, now does it? So you're going to have to spritz that up and make it liposomal. We sell and have sold the commercially prepared things, essentially two products, one called Quicksilver, another product made by Sir Arnold Takimoto called Ultra Absorbic C. These are liposomal forms. They are excellent. But if you have to be on vitamin C for any length of time, they can get costly. Now the point. We put together a kit, and it is a kit that allows you to make your own liposomal C. We got a non-corn derived form of the vitamin C powder. This is actually citrus derived. That's where I actually thought all vitamin C came from. You know, like oranges. All right, corn, huh? Anyway, we found a source. I didn't. Sarah found a source of the powdered form of vitamin C. And then also, too, you have to mix up the vitamin C with lecithin, and that must be non-soy-derived lecithin. She found one for the two. Happens to be sunflower-derived. Anyway, you mix it. You congeal them with, get a load of this, a ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. We also put that in the kit. And you got 2 years worth of vitamin C for pennies a dose. If you're interested, give us a call here at 724-942-3002. We just put another group of these kits together. Many of you have been asking for it. Now it's available. Give us a call so we can reserve a kit for you. When they're gone, and then we have to wait sometime before we get the next batch rolling. We have a few batches. that we can sell. And so 724-942-3002 will get that going for you. Should mention, didn't you enjoy the show that we did on Wednesday with Dr. Lee Cowden? You obviously have appreciated what I certainly have, and that is this man is a cut above all other doctors and is a board-certified cardiologist who worked so hard to get into that realm. Once arriving, said, "I'm out of here. I can't do this. This is like this is hypocritical. I can't treat my family one way and my patients another." He saw the light and he moved into this arena. It's been our gain and that conventional medicine's loss ever since. And he just is so knowledgeable. The book, which is entitled, by the way, I ordered mine and I got a rush on it, and it's arriving today. And I will share with you as I learn more about these energy therapies. We'll bring Dr. Cowden back, of course, and as I learn more about them, I'll pass them on to you. The book is called Bioenergetic Tools for Wellness. I had to get mine on Amazon. I went to this website that Dr. Cowden wanted me to go to, and I just couldn't check out with my cart. It just kept doing crazy things. So I had to go do it at Amazon, and you'll find it both places. ACIM Connect, acimconnect.org. And that'll get you to the site he'd like you to buy that on. If you have any trouble, go to Amazon.com. You'll get it there. Bioenergetic Tools for Wellness is the name of the publication. And as I mentioned, we will bring him back. Okay, let's do this, folks. I'm going to take a short break. In the interim, it's time, because it's Friday, for a Beresha Report. Our go-to guy when it comes to the Beresha Report is a gentleman, Keith Golby. We're going to ask him what's on the horizon, up and coming, for the month of June with respect to Beresha, and some uniqueness about the product line, which we fully support. Be right back in a moment with Keith. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you in the Friday morning version of the show, and it's very typical in a way. We are going to allow you, didn't mention that, to dial us up at any time you'd like to and set the agenda as you want to see it. You do that by dialing the phone at 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I'll listen to the knock on the door, and I will let you in the store. And so oftentimes on a Friday, however, we allow you to hear about a company with a unique line of products that I put the full force of my reputation behind, called Beresha. And the spokesman for Beresha that's been able to come aboard on Fridays is a very good friend of mine, Mr. Keith Golby. We want him to tell us what's happening in the world of Beresha. And so let's say good morning and welcome back, Mr. Keith Golby. How are you today?
Hey, Dr. Courtney, I'm great. Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate letting my listeners know about this company and this line of products. It is so doggone unique. Beresha has these go-to drinks that, well, they do some interesting things. I'll let you talk about them. That's your expertise level. And then, of course, we got some up-and-coming things that I want you to get to, too. So why don't we just take it from the top and mention Beresha as a product line and why it is so unique.
Some of the things that make it unique is we have 4 products that we have in Beresha. We have a coffee, a peach mango tea, a lemonade flavored drink, and a sugar replacement that is also all natural. All the products are all natural. They're low glycemic. They are low on the glycemic, so they're diabetic friendly and safe for children, for anyone to use. Sweetener is safe. They are organic, and they're, of course, gluten-free. And one of the things that each of the products plays a role in is, of course, weight loss and managing your nutrition goals. There's coffee, tea, and lemonade all have formulated to help you burn fat. Product, you burn fat, and that fat is released as energy. It doesn't stop there. Fat's released as energy, and then so you derive several benefits from each product. And there's something there that pretty much there's something there for everyone. If you're not a coffee drinker, there is a tea, also a lemonade. If you're working out, the lemon drink we talked about has L-arginine in it. So there are several other things going on there that are beneficial to the consumer with each product. And some of the things that make it very unique, again, it's fat-burning coffee. I haven't found anything anywhere else like it where you can achieve your nutritional goals just by drinking a beverage. And there are lots of plans out there, lots of things to look to get on the right track. This is a product that can complement as well several other programs that are, any of the other programs that are out there. I know coffee drinkers, we like to drink our coffee. So it's great to have a coffee that I can feel good about drinking. And with we've talked about before, the flavor, the way the coffee is processed, the infrared roasting, you don't have to load it up with sweeteners and with flavored creamers and all those things that pile on the calories. You can drink it pretty much the way it is. I find a lot of people begin to drink it without any additives, and that's the way I drink mine. And so you're also saving yourself on several levels by that, by not adding the creamers and the sugars and all the artificial sweeteners. There's no need. These are a lot of things that make the individual products unique. We've talked about the coffee at length. I want to talk a little bit today just about the sweetener. It's a product called Sweet, and it's also an all-natural, low-glycemic, diabetic-friendly sugar replacement or alternative. There's a product called Studolin, which is a proprietary blend. It's 100% fructose, so it's natural fruit extract. And the thing that's really interesting about this is it looks like sugar and tastes like it, which is really neat. I've seen a lot of sugar alternatives, sugar substitutes, and they certainly don't look like sugar and don't taste like sugar. Sweetener beverages. They also contain harmful ingredients that we're all very familiar with. This is an all-natural extract from fruit, so it's very safe to consume. One of the things it does is very unique. It provides steady, low glycemic energy without excess carbohydrate. And it's a nice complement. If you any of the other 3 Beresha products. You can use it just like sugar. What I found is that we use sugar or sweetener less than they normally would. We did it. My wife and I did a test a little while ago where we were baking and we tried to see what it would turn out if we used it to bake instead of regular sugar. We used less than what the recipe called for in terms of regular sugar, and it turned out just fine.
You know, Keith, this issue of trying to avoid sugar, I think everybody out there understands that sugar by itself should be avoided. But then, too, if you have weight issues, especially carbohydrate issues, sugar becomes a double whammy in terms of your overall health is going to be improved by avoiding it. This is how the pink, the yellow, and the blue got to be so doggone popular out there. And if you know what I mean, if you work towards any sort of diet drink at all, these three colored envelopes are emblazoned in your mind. Each one of those three is a chemical nightmare. I'll just shorten it up. We don't have to get into which one does what. You need to avoid all three colored envelopes, and the fact that there is a sugar substitute that is carbohydrate friendly. I mean, it's darn near zero in terms of the carbs and calorie content, but yet it is a complete natural replacement. Natural. Underline the word natural. Makes it another one of the kind. I don't think we talk about this sugar substitute enough, so I'm glad that you brought it to our attention.
Yeah, one of the things for your listeners, especially to understand the glycemic index, glycemic load, and this is something that impressed me, that they were able to figure this out. The team of scientists create this sweetener, and they're delivered the glycemic load, and I know your listeners know what that means. The glycemic load on the pseudolin is up to 0.6. When you compare that to sugar, which is a 2, I'll just pick an apple, which is 6.5, or a pasta that's 16, etc. A 0.6 on the glycemic load should tell you what you need to know about the effectiveness of the product. And you are able to sweeten up whatever it is you want to sweeten up, and you can feel safe doing it. Add this to your overall health goals. As we mentioned, it's diabetic friendly. It's safe for children. It's an excellent sugar replacement, and it's all natural. Of course, it's safe. If you're worried about if you're vegetarian or vegan, of course, there's no animal products in it, and it's also gluten free. So it's a great addition if you're trying to work your way through achieving your optimal health.
All right. Should mention that, by the way, my office, I just got my monthly order of my Beresha stuff. It's in. We invite you, if you're in the area out here in South Hills, especially on Route 19 going south, passing my office at 3075 Washington Road, we have a new program now we call Pick Up a Pod. I'd like you to try the coffee on us, and we have it in a pod container way that we can literally drop it in some pretty hot water, and within moments, you can sample this coffee in a way that I think, well, at least it gives you the opportunity to make a decision as to something that you'd like to pursue further. And if so, we'll help you get this online. This is really, the Beresha is strictly an online company. You will never find it in a store, but the fact that it's a thermogenic coffee, drink a cup of coffee and lose weight? What, are you kidding me? And being an organic coffee to boot. So pick up a pod, come on in, and try one on me. Now, the month of June's coming up, Keith, and a lot of festivities in the Beresha world. We always try to let our listeners know what's up and coming, what is in store for Beresha here in Western Pennsylvania in the month of June.
Yeah, we have a couple of exciting events coming up in addition to being able to take products at your office. We have a big event coming up in Harrisburg, June 12th and 13th. It's a regional conference. They picked Pennsylvania to hold this conference because the product is growing in our area and throughout Pennsylvania, so they want to come here and talk about it. And if you can't make that, in Harrisburg, we can provide more details on that. But I bring that up because week 4, they're sending Kate Donovan, Executive Director of Sales from the corporate office in San Francisco, and she is going to be in the Pittsburgh area to visit with yourself and anybody else who would like to learn more about the product company. And we're going to have an event. We have more details coming as soon as possible. But on that Tuesday, which is June 9th, we will have an event in the evening. And we're working on the details.
We don't know where yet. Just put a circle around the date, okay? Put a circle around the date. We'll give you more details on this. We're just putting this together now. We only found out last week that she was coming through. So it's sort of having us make us switch some gears here. But George Najjar called me, whenever a president calls, you sort of click your heels and go, yes, sir, how can I help you? So George Najjar, the president and CEO of the company, said, look, I want you to meet this gal, Kate. She's coming out through Pittsburgh on her way to Harrisburg. I want you to treat her really nice, and the best way you can treat her is pack a room. Well, we'll try to get you folks who want to learn more about Beresha to come on and meet Kate, and we'll entice you to be involved with it as best we can. But more on that with passing time. Just circle the date right now, June 9th, and we'll give you all the details up and coming. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to want to be there. It's a great opportunity to get questions answered, learn more about the company, and how you can implement the product program into your life, your lifestyle, and make a difference. That's what we're all shooting for. That opportunity to have a difference made in our overall health. And we're still looking forward to her coming and spending time with her and learning about what's going on in the corporate office, upcoming plans, and then attending the regional conference in Harrisburg.
Okay, so that's the second week of June. Anything else going on, Beresha, we need to know about?
If you like to travel, there's a conference in a little place called Nassau Beach in the Bahamas.
Oh, goodness.
The 13th through the 17th. There's opportunities. One of the things that's unique, even as a consumer of the product, there's opportunities to win a free trip. And there is a customer who, there are a couple of customers who will be there on a free trip that they've won participating in the program. And then the national conference takes place at the home office in San Francisco, and that's in August. There are also opportunities to win a trip out there win airfare and hotel. If they're interested in learning more about that, we can share more on that later.
All right, I intend to find out about that one. Nassau, huh? Okay.
Free trips are good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Keith. Anything else on this Beresha report you want to bring us up to speed on before we bid you a fond adieu?
And we mentioned, and maybe we can go into more on this next time, the 7 to 7 lifestyle. And if you're interested in that, if you go on the BereshaInternational.com website, and in fact, it's / Dr. Courtney, DRCOURTY, it would take you to your page, Dr. Courtney, and there is information there if you want to peruse it on the 7 to 7 lifestyle. It revolves around the number 7, and it's 7 steps, 7 weeks, each step, and it's kind of pulled everything together, all the good information that's out there on health and nutrition, and they've pulled it all together into one program. And maybe sometime in the future we could talk a little bit more about that as well. Okay, my friend. Thank you so much for letting my listeners know what's happening about the company in general. I always enjoy enlightening my listeners on a go-to drink that could absolutely meet a lot of objectives in someone's life and do so in such a healthy way. And with the month of June coming around, I'll be talking to you and Angelo and everybody and Joe about what the festivities should be around this. Looks to me to be June 9th venue. Okay? Very good. Very good. All right, Keith. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. We will talk to you again soon. Okay. There you have it, folks. Mr. Keith Golby on a Beresha report.
A lot of things coming up here in June. I'll let you know more about them. It's true about the offer. Pick up a pod. Come on in. A pod, it's a thing that they bind up the coffee in, and you just put it in a cup. It's not one of those K-cup things. It's just wrapped up coffee that dissolves in the cup. Best I can tell you. All right. Let's do this. We're going to take a short break. It's 1/2 the hour, as I said. We're going to switch some gears now. Two things can happen. You can put this in overdrive by taking control of the place. You do that by dialing us up at 412-825-6262. And number two, I'm going to give you the sneak peek results of what happened in my office first 4 days of this past week on the first official cataract clinic ever to be held in Western Pennsylvania. Be right back in a moment with the goodies.
This confusion sounds familiar to you. You must have called the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement, radiation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective therapies. Chemist Courtney Energy is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002. Want to hear the game back on your phone one more time? Or maybe you're looking for one of the many previously aired programs on
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. We're in the Friday morning version of the show. You can take control of this thing by dialing us up. Anything on your mind that you want to talk about, question or comment, either form of communication is okay with me. You do so by dialing us up at 412-825-6262. The way it works is I'll listen for that knock on the door, and I will let you in the store. Now, I've been a nervous wreck all week. A very excited kind of nervousness because I sort of figured that I may be able to have a major impact on the treatment of a set of diseases with the eye that have been eluding us. When I say us, I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Eye Protocol. I'm talking about Dr. Ed Conrad's program. It has done absolutely unbelievable when it comes to retinal diseases. And although I think it's done a great job with cataracts too, somehow the percentages just weren't there. We continue to be batting at an average of 92% reversal rate on all the retinal diseases since we started these programs in my office under my direction back in July of 2013. So the retinal disease issue, I believe, is a done deal. It is resolved, and for those of you who may suffer from MACD or glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy or retinitis pigmentosa, and the list goes on, all these retinal diseases don't have a thing to have done in your benefit in the conventional community, but we can get them turned around in 3 days. Now, as well as we've been doing with the retinal diseases, we weren't doing bad with cataracts, but it was more like 50-50. Like half of the people would get a benefit, the other half of the people wouldn't. And in a set of diseases where there is nothing that can be done in the conventional world other than remove, well, they say remove the cataract, but it really means removing the lens and putting an artificial one in it. Um, that's not a treatment. That's like throwing away the old and trying to get something new. And, you know, when you replace something natural with something synthetic, you are asking for a bunch of trouble. And there is, we won't even get into that right now. But a 50-50 was not comfortable for me, and I had to put together something that would allow me to get to the same. I said, if I can get to the 80 or 90% range as I had done with retinal diseases, I would be extremely happy about a program and a protocol to correct cataracts, because after all, it is the #1 leading cause of vision loss worldwide, because just about, you know, as you age, over the age of 60, these are so common. Over the age of 70, there may be 10 or 15% of the patients or people in the world that don't have to worry about it. The other 85% do. So, yes, the surgical reversal is quite successful a lot of the times, but still, it's a surgery you want to avoid. So, we put together a program. I talked about the protocol that I had put together, and we had a group of people in my office. Well, we had them swinging from the chandeliers here in the office. This was on May the 4th. It was the Cataract Clinic where I could talk to those who had an interest about what we were going to do. Now, the room was packed, and just about everybody in that room had cataracts, and they were all ears about what this program consisted of. But when the smoke cleared, there was nobody there. They all ran. It looked to me, the best I could tell, is that they were going to sit back and just bide their time. It was pretty good that this doctor wanted to do something special, but you know, they weren't going to be any guinea pig and get themselves involved in the program. No, they're much too intelligent for that. To take on an iffy thing like cataract treatment. So I understand it. I got the message. I got it. But there were a few who stepped up. In some cases, they stepped up out of fear. In other cases, they just stepped up because they were willing to take the chance. And honestly, on Monday, when this program began, I didn't really know what the outcome was going to be. I assumed it would be good, but it was probably a nervous assumption and probably something that sometimes the positive outlook I have sometimes shades things a bit. But I still felt strongly about it. That's why I put the program together as I did. And 8 different components of this program. It is not held any other way of this type in the country. So I put that thing together, and we were here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all day, every day, and then finally at the end of yesterday, went back, because, you know, we start with Dr. Lisa Bowen, the eye doctor near me and who's been involved with patients who have been in my eye programs for the last 2 years. And so it was only natural to ask her to be involved with this. And she was, in a way, very anticipatory, but quite skeptical. I think that's the word. Quite skeptical, although with anxious anticipation, we moved to her office yesterday afternoon. Now, although we're going to do a special show on this, because I can tell you that before I left the office, I asked Dr. Lisa Bowen, I said, you have to come on the show. And she hemmed and doesn't like it. She does not like coming on the show. Certainly she saw the importance for the need to do it. So I'll get her to come on the show, and I'll get her to say in her own words what I may attempt to paraphrase today. But let me just tell you, for those of you who ran, you know, when the smoke cleared and you weren't around, you may want to run on back here, because there were 3 patients who we put through this program, and every one of them hit the ball out of the park. Hit it out of the park. I'm going to paraphrase a quote from Dr. Lisa Bowen. I'm sure she's not going to have any consternation my way by me utilizing, I think, her own words, in which she said, in 15 years of doing this work in eye care, I have never seen or ever thought that I could see results such as these at all, no matter how long it takes, let alone in 4 days. Now, I was anxious, as I'd already told you, about how things would turn around. I'm feeling pretty good about the whole process now, because I may have just blown through this idea of hitting 92%. After all, I hit 100% with these three, but time will move on, and I'll continue to add to this list, and I'll give you a running tally of how these numbers either remain the same, or if they change, then they change. I have to report whatever happens to occur. But I think with the 8 pieces of this program that we put together and that we did daily, every day for the last 4 days, I think we pretty much got this in the arena that I wanted to get it there. I think the Dr. Ed Condrat way of treating the eye, the back of the eye, the retina of the eye, had this cataract program for which even Ed Condrat himself has battled with. I think it has no equal either. And so I can tell you that of these three, 2 of these patients had, I'm going to say, the beginnings of cataracts, which I thought would be the ideal person that should be coming to the cataract clinic, because as I saw it, I would have imagined, and I still do actually, think that the lesser degree of opacification of the lens that is present means this should be easier to wipe clean. And I'll still continue to think that. However, something happened yesterday that completely, well, first of all, the results blew us away. But one of the patients had a very well-established and fully progressed cataract. And she was the first one to be evaluated after the cataract program had come to an end. And I went to the eye doctor's office, and I was in the room as each of these patients was being evaluated. And this gal had a very advanced cataract that Lisa mentioned to me on Monday. When she evaluated these patients at the beginning of the program, she said to me, I didn't know this, that this woman would have qualified and should have had recommended to her the surgery to remove the cataract without a doubt. Her cataract had progressed that far that she was, I guess in the words of the eye doctors, a goner, because there's just no way that once you reach that point that you should do anything else other than just succumb and have the surgery. Well, this patient said, I'm going to give this a try. I do not want to have the surgery, and I can understand, and actually probably of the same like-mindedness when it comes to surgical rectification of anything if there's a way to avoid it. Well, yesterday blew us away. Yeah, we expected the lighter cataracts to be made, got an improvement, just because intuitively it made sense. But actually what occurred is the cataract that was most developed, the cataract that had been that far advanced, turned around more than any of the other 2 had turned around that were just minimal to moderate. It blew her and me away, because she said, there's no way. There's no way that this patient should be recommended to have an eye surgery now. And before I ever went to have my patients evaluated by Dr. Bowen, I had a discussion with them about how they needed to look at the entire program. And I said, Dr. Bowen's assessment of you, if there's any positive finding that suggests that your eye, let's say, was only 10% improved. By the way, these numbers are way beyond 10%. That your eye improved at a minimal 10%, even less than 10%, then you have to seize the opportunity and jump onto these protocols and continue to ride them, because if you can get it reversed 10% or 15% or 7% in 4 days, then over the course of 4 months, you will rub that thing clean. At least That was my advice to those patients. Well, this wasn't a 10% deal. This was the one gentleman had what Dr. Bowen referred to as a posterior cataract. And when she looked in his eye, I heard her say something like, "Oh my, no." She said, "Do you mind if I dilate your eye, because I'm seeing something here that I just have to get straight in my own mind." And so the gentleman consented to having his eye dilated so Dr. Bowen could look at the cataract much closer. Now, as I find out in retrospect, the reason why she asked to be able to dilate the eye is because when she looked in the eye without it being dilated, a cataract that had formed the posterior part of the lens was not visible at all. And it gave the impression that that cataract had completely been resolved. And so in dilating the eye, she had to report, "You know what? I thought that the cataract was completely resolved, but in actuality, there's a little bit of the cataract that remains on the superior cusp of the lens, so that it wasn't completely wiped clean. Only, like, I've got to put a number in here, like 99% or 95%. And so these are staggering responses to a protocol that I wished and hoped would be able to be the best that have ever been found, and it looks as though we're on our way. The combination of the 8 components of the cataract protocol has won, at least for the first round. There'll be another round, and then another round, and then another round. And so if you're sitting out there with some pretty advanced cataracts, the thing that I didn't think I would be able to tell you was that if your cataract is really advanced, I would have thought that you would be the most difficult patient to get turned around. And as it turned out, in this particular case, whether this is an aberration or not, I cannot say. But the person with the greatest advanced cataract had the greatest outcome of the patients who were assessed yesterday. And if that's going to hold true, this is a great positive thing to keep in your own file in the back of your mind. Those of you who are having difficulty with your vision and are contemplating getting that eye surgery and would like to either postpone it forever or at least wait a while to see if you can be improved. So if you want more information on the Cataract Clinic, you want to give us a call here at the Pittsburgh Eye Protocol. Our number, as I've already told you before, is 724-993-0500. That's 724-993-0500. I will be able to tell you that the next time we offer this program is going to be in the 3rd week of June. For those of you that have cataracts and want to be involved, we'll promise that way before that, hopefully in the 1st week of June, I'm going to try to have Dr. Lisa Bowen come on the show. She does not like to do this. In fact, this patient entered into her office yesterday. She said, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want anybody to tell me anything. I want to take a look at this with the same set of eyes that look at these the other day, and I don't want anybody to try to persuade me into thinking that I'm going to see that which I do not. And in each case, she was blown away. That statement, and we might as well leave on that statement, is that over 15 years of experience, she has never seen and believed that she could never see such a turnaround with cataracts. There is good news for you out there in the listening audience that if you have cataracts, you don't. And absolutely, you should not. I can say absolutely, for sure, positively, there's no way that you should consent to eye surgery to remove a lens with this kind of possible help looming right around the corner. Give us a call, 724-993-0500, so we can talk about it some more. Okay, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll be in the gun lap. We'll be coming around that final turn. And if there's anybody who wants to check in with us and comment, or, by the way, anybody listening who was actually in the group yesterday, and because a couple of you said that you might call in. If you want to, the number to do that is 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I'll be back in just a moment. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to AIM Impact on Your Health and the Friday morning get 'em up out of town version of the show of AM Impact on Your Health. If you want to come on in here with about 8 or 9 minutes remaining, give us a call at 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Get it off your chest. Big weekend coming up. We are not doing a live show on Monday. You want to pay attention to a pretty unique show we did. A lot of shows on eye care. Well, we offer such unique programs that are found nowhere else in the country, and it looks as though a path is being laid for me that I've just got to pursue to be able to help people in the way that I now I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to do in a high percentage of cases with these cataracts. Anyway, Monday's show that you don't want to miss is entitled The Watergate of Eye Care and dates back to December 17th, 2014 when Dr. Ed Condra came on the show. He's the one that dubbed the show, as we now name it, The Watergate of Eye Care. It had to do with a published study on the injection of the back of the eye for wet macular degeneration. Now, to paraphrase what I believe you will absolutely be able to ascertain from listening to the show is this is the go-to treatment. By the way, the only treatment out there that is available for any of these retinal diseases is that the doctor, when he looks in the back of the eye and sees that there's bleeding, says you need to have an injection into the bleeding area to be able to stop the bleeding. These injections, which take, I'm told, first of all, it sounds really bad, doesn't it? I'm just, I know, and a little quiver goes up my spine. But they're going to inject through the eyeball into the back of the eye with a substance called avastin, which is an anti-VEGF material to help sort of dry up the formation of blood vessels that are bleeding. That's the concept behind it. And these injections, I'm told, take just a few seconds, 10 seconds to do. We got Eric back there playing chopsticks. We'll have to do this at another time. I'll look forward to talking to you about the show after the show is run. If you've got MACD, especially wet MACD, you want to listen to it. Have a great holiday weekend. I'll be with you next Wednesday with Mike Legal. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney saying so long for AIM Impact on Your Health.